Well, welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. What a day, what a finish. We won on Legends Day, a record attendance, 4 league doubles in a row. I can't ever in my lifetime remembering us ever doing that. WLADITT still unbeaten this season. Is he the talisman of the season? Jack Redoni hitting form with everyone else below us winning. How big is that goal? Possibly monumental come the end of the season. That first half for me was absolutely fantastic for the first 30 minutes. Completely dominated. Should have been 3 or 4 goals up probably, but the sucker punch is always there in this league, isn't it? Every team is good enough to score a goal, and that's what you have to look out for. And we fell asleep for that last 15 minutes of that first half, and we got caught out. The second half was a bit of a slog, but we got there in the end with some determination from 2 of the players who came on, actually. I thought it was tremendous, and we deserved that 2-1 victory. Now, I'm joined by the famous Dan Plowman. For those of you who will remember that game, the Johnson's Paint Trophy, where he left early. So my first question, Dan, did you stay to the end and see the winning goal?
Yes, I did, mate. Yeah. Thanks again for inviting me on, Claudio. But yeah, I did stay till the end. Yeah, it was a champions 3 points, wasn't it, today?
Oh, most definitely. And I noticed that there was the one change, SA for Sakamoto. I'm not really sure it worked, but I thought the problem was in the first half, everything was down the left-hand side, wasn't it? It was all EMC, it was all Redoni, it was all De Silva. And the goal, the cross from De Silva, he was right in front of me when he did that cross. Yeah. There was no room for error. It was a perfect ball, and Hadji couldn't miss, could he?
No, it's I'd say it's De Silva from sort of 3 months or so, the last 3-4 months. He's just really going to get near the team at the minute. De Silva's probably the most improved player that I think this season we've had. And Redoni looks, like you say, he looks back to his best. Those 2 goals that he scored now, and he's just took on to another level. Some of the turns and the Cruyff turns he was doing, it was disgusting. It really was. But that's what we know. We know that can happen from Redoni, and that's what we were demanding, and we wanted to see him back with that flair and that desire to win. And Sakamoto's desire to win the ball when he come on. Wow.
Yeah, well, it makes a difference. And I think once you've got a sniff of it, surely they must realise how close they are. We're not going to lose 6 matches before now and the end of the season. It ain't going to happen. We've only lost 6 all season. It's not going to happen. I'll read some comments out. Jane Gallantly says, great pressure from Ellis to make the winner. Christianity says, song for Rushworth to the tune of Got the Whole World in His Hands. We got the best goalie in the league. There you are, a bit of a sing-song for you. Paul Cuttiford, once Stoke sorted their right back out, it balanced them out and we backed off. But performance of champions are now on 71 points. I think it's the best we've ever had in the championship. We just keep going. We are top of the league. Andrew Bowen. Karma for time wasters. You love to see it. Uncle Jonga Simpkin got what he deserved for all the time wasting. It's called karma. Christy says, Stoke were desperate, Dan. Oh dear, got it in. It's an old one. Rich T, 3 points more, 1 less game to be caught. It's looking good. We are top of the league. Well done, Ellis says, disillusioned, but should have been out of sight at half-time. It was one-way traffic. Keep the run going, says Rich T, and we're promoted. Ashley Monk, your friend, who I saw on the way out singing, actually, as he was leaving the stadium. Hadji would never have chased that ball in the month of Sundays for the winner. Bobby at the back, Simo in attack. City's going to the Premier League. Andrew Bowen says, on staff and which game he thinks would be promotion party based on remaining fixtures. It could be sooner than we think at this rate. Pompey Lil says, agree with us, we should have been out of sight by half-time. Glenn Watkins, what a really negative, poor side Stoke are. Ryan Matthew J, we have shown we can win in any way possible this season. A sign of champions. We've got to just keep going. We are so very close. We left it late, but what a win, says Rounds a possibility. Phil Bev, Sky Blue, here in Sheffield, I was shouting at the TV in the second half. Very frustrating, but 4 wins out of 4 and 4 doubles out of 4. That's unheard of, Dan, isn't it?
Oh, I can't remember the last time we did that. Normally it's the way around, Claudio, isn't it? You know, people doing the double over us.
Never in my lifetime.
No,
Never.
no.
Covs 9290 says it sounds like Beverly Hills 8210, doesn't it? The Stoke had one shot on target all game. They didn't trouble us at all. If we didn't switch off before half time, we would have seen it out 1-0. Yeah, I was talking to my lad about this. Because we've got so many more people in the ground, I've noticed on 35 minutes the stands start to empty. I don't think it helps
It doesn't
because
help.
because the temperature in the stadium dropped massively those last 10 minutes. And I thought the performances, I'm not blaming the crowd because obviously they used to play in front of 9,000. But when, we're in a game which was a bit frustrating, wasn't it? Because we should have been out of sight. I think those moments matter. I don't know what you think, Dan.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I take 4 children up sometimes, and but we've got into a new routine. We go to the game, we get our food, we get our drink before the game now, and if one of them wants to run down and get a drink or two, 30 minutes, one runs down, and they come. But I mean, the issue is for me, it's Legends Day today, and a lot of people did stay. I'll give it that. A lot of people stay, but for me, when it's Legends Day, for me, the F&B is irrelevant for me. Those 51 people on the pitch today deserve us to stay in our seats and give them the biggest around. We do Legends Day very well, Claudio. You know that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Wow, what some of them lads have done for this club to get us where we are today is. I mean, Liam Kelly was a nice addition today. I've seen coming on, fantastic servant to the football club, and many of us, and the fans have got it right in the comments. We're a good fan base. We know what we're talking about. And that first half, I looked up at 40 minutes, Claudio, and I said to myself, well, I didn't actually say to myself. I said to the people around me, I said, we just need to see it out or get another goal, and this game will be done. If we can see it out till half time, this game will be done. And unfortunately, we got that 3 minutes added on time. It seemed to go on forever. I mean, the clock stopped at 47. I don't know if you noticed that. So even the clock weren't expecting the additional time. Maybe it was a bit like me going back. He only expected a couple of minutes, and then he left early. I don't know. But yeah, we need to stay, and we can't. What we can't do is when it goes to 1-1, and things ain't going our way at 65 minutes. You start to hear them grumbles. Boys, we are top of the league. Even the worst capitulation now would see us probably finish second. It really would, because this team is too good to be losing the amount of games we'd need to lose now to mess this up. It's I think it's done and dusted, Claudio. I really do. I know you can't have that mindset. But for me, I've been getting myself prepared to be crying my eyes out in the next few games. I really have, because it's coming.
It's interesting because, I mean, people watching won't know this, but me and Dan, last night we were having a conversation. It was 1:30 in the morning. We were still chatting about today's game, weren't we? It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
so all the permutations, when we think we could get promoted, what we should be doing, what formations, this, that, and the other. And both of us, we're feeling positive that you think about it, we're running out of games to cut this up now. And it's so much in our hands, it's ridiculous now.
Well, I thought, to be honest, when we went behind and we went to second, that was the moment for me. I thought, Frank Lampard, he's a winner. There's no way at that point we weren't going to go and beat Middlesbrough. And I thought if we had beat Middlesbrough, we'd go on a run, and we have. And I can't see many teams taking points off us now, Claudio. I think we'll get close to 100 points. I really believe that.
And hopefully, I'm hoping Bristol will win, because that'll give us a little bit of a break as well now, because we obviously won't play on the Saturday, and that'll give the other teams the chance to do the catch up, the games in hand as well.
Imagine going to Birmingham though on Monday night.
I know.
Imagine that as our fan base, us. Imagine if we were in that situation now, where we went top, we took over the chasing. We've done the hard work. We've got top, then we got beat by the team that have just gone on another level, and then we've got to go to Birmingham City away and win. Our fan base would be, and that's the pressure. This pressure is going to toll on Middlesbrough now, and I think they'll drop points again. I really do.
Well, they're in danger of dropping out, I think, now,
Yeah.
out of everybody. I'll just do some more
Mm.
comments.
Yeah.
Hats off to Ellis. Ellis was great when he came on.
Mm.
Mark PUSB says the promised land is in the horizon. Clear view for the Sky Blue Army. Cam says 51 years and counting since my first game. Been to many special games today. Game is right up there. Realms of possibility. Stoke were playing for the draw. In their defence, I don't think they can play for a win. They've actually got nothing up front whatsoever. They're all injured.
Yeah.
I mean, their chances of playoffs, I think, had gone 3 or 4 games ago. To be
They
honest,
were playing 4 centre backs, I believe today, weren't they?
yeah,
And their right back got absolutely battered in the first 15, 20 minutes, didn't he? He gave that foul away just on the edge of the box, and the cross, he should have prevented that cross. If I were Mark Robbins, I'd be fuming.
yeah,
That was
because
right in front of me, and it looked like he just tried to put a little leg out. That wasn't good enough. That should have been prevented.
Jay De Silva should never have got. I don't know how he got the ball around him, because he should never got that crossing from there. Wayne
Fantastic ball
Brewington,
flight.
great win, could easily have been a draw. Well, we know that. Too easy and not enough drama today, says Keith. Big dogs, Hadji and Rodoni turn up when it matters, says the Kissam. Mick Kelly, for once we beat a team that parked the bus. Trevor Merriman, Latty, very impressive. Fordy, great result given how they came for the draw. Really needed that 3 points given the results around us. 11 to go. I just need to keep it up, lads. I'll get this one on the screen from James Hillier. I can read it better because it's bigger writing. Great in the first 30 minutes, because easily been 3-0 up. Rudoni back to his best. He was immense. Some of these ball play and touches, brilliant. Then it got frustrating. It was almost too easy. Probably better to win in this style, to be honest. Great design by BTA Sims Rodoni to get the winner. Wright was frustrating in the second half, but what win? I've all said it about Wright. I said it on Season Real last night. You just don't know what to make of him, but he still scores goals. That's 16 for the season. He could get 25 goals now, bizarrely.
Yeah.
He's had an above average season, I think, performance wise. Mickey Doherty says, brilliant game. My grandfather, who used to play for Coventry, would be proud. Rest in peace, granddad. I'm sure he would have been. That was a really spirited last few minutes. BCFC says, you are now promoted. You've been top virtual season, so you deserve it. Hopefully we'll beat Borough Monday. Not that it matters. Cover up and deservedly so. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if you did do us a favour. Good old Dan out in Kenya riding a lion. Look at how tough is he. So you can tell he's from Cov. Yeah. Yes, boys, come on, City. I said it in our recent chat. We are better with the opposition having the ball, so we can counter and space to attack quickly. Home games are harder than away games. First half, very good. Second half, it's difficult with 11 men behind the ball. And let's face it, Dan, the tactics. I don't remember Mark Robbins doing those tactics when he was in charge of us.
I think, Claudio, managers set up differently against us. They know we are a very good side. And when we're on it, which we were at the first half hour, there's teams won't touch us like that. But I think that was a little bit of our downfall. We were so comfortable. Every second ball we were winning. It was Rodoni, De Silva, what's his face on
just frozen on me there, Dan.
When we're like that, I think it's difficult for any manager to set up any differently, really, to be honest. The keeper and the Stoke team were hoping for a 1-1 there. They got lucky with a goal. It was a sucker punch at the end, and they were all out for the 1-1 draw, and they would have celebrated that like a win in the game.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. GRJV says, don't know how much my heart can take, but nothing better than the last-minute winner. Yeah, and it was late enough that it's done. If we score that in 88 minutes, I'll still be panicking.
Especially against Stoke, because they've got that threat, and know how they're going to score. It'll be a dodgy penalty, or it'll be a long throw, or it'll be a cross from deep, or something like that, and a knockdown. They're the goals that you can see late on, aren't they? But it was too late.
Well, I said to Luca, though, I said, the thing is, Stoke don't concede, but they've struggled to score a goal, and they're basically getting one goal here and there at the minute. So I personally felt I didn't think they'd get another, because they weren't pushing anybody forward, really. James Hollyoak, Birmingham have a good home record. Please do Borough on Monday. Danny Elliott says a couple more signs with pace and power. I actually think the Premier League will suit us. Well, there'd be more than a couple more coming in if we do get promoted. Lee Lishman, I get the feeling the next 11 games will be a slogfest. Second half was a bit turgid. I can see another defeat at home before the end of the season. We aren't Leeds of last season. We give chances away. Well, they had the ball 10 times in our box. The whole of the game, 10 times. That's 10 touches in our box.
They had 3 shots, 1 on target.
Yeah, Mark Cunningham, good win today, but it should have been all over in the first half. Very true, very true. I love meeting Nick Cairns, Dietmar Brook and Willie Humphries today. The win was the icing on the cake. Yes, we could do with a Nick Cairns in the team.
Just on that, Claudio, there was a fantastic question I thought on CWR phoning earlier on. Out of the 51 players there, Claudio, because you watched most of them.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the 51 players there, who would you have back in their heyday now in this team? Who would you have?
Ooh. Now, I've got to look beyond favourites and think strategically. And I would have, it's a toss-up, but I would go for Dennis Mortimer.
See, it's a bit older for me, but that one. But I'd certainly look at the answer that Oggy gave, that Dan Huckerby, because for me it was.
Yeah, I mean that's the other one I was thinking of because of his sheer pace, and with maybe in the Premier League, because with VAR I'd reckon he'd get a lot more goals than he would have done back in the day, because I don't think it was offside half the time. He was just too fast.
No,
but and Darren is
some brilliant players on that pitch today.
Yeah,
weren't there?
absolutely. Let's go with Ian Primrot. He says 4 more wins, we should be guaranteed promotion, but I want the title. I think another 5. I think let's get 5 at least. 4 sounds a little too low. Ian, Carl O'Connor, it would be nice to get promoted at a home game. Of course it would. I'm looking at Derby, maybe.
It would, but if it's not at home, Claudio, we spoke about it, didn't we, yesterday? It's got to be Blackburn, isn't it?
Got to be Blackburn. We're off to Blackburn. I don't care if it's the other half of my family's team. They're getting it. The kiss some PUSB. Super Frank Scribe Army. We're winning the league. Realms of possibility. We need a massive banner of "We'll be back" photo, but change it to "We are back." We need to get the bloke back from Australia because that's where he lives, isn't he?
Has he gone there? That's where he's gone, is it?
Yeah, I'm sure he's in Australia. Yeah. He's almost as photographed more times as the Mad Hatters. That picture, isn't it? Stephen Cobble says Sims changed it up front. Lampard gets the subs right every time. Saw Jack buying a new shirt, says Mrs. Christmas. Yes, he said he didn't like it. Few again. Ugly and against a stubborn side. Agreed, Realms. I've got my own mini version ready and waiting. Mickey Doty says a brilliant game. My grandfather used to play for Coventry. I think I read that one out, didn't I? It's come up twice for some reason. We've never had a manager like Frank Lampard. Enjoy him. He's a treasure. He shut the Stoke fans up a tree. He's very good at that, isn't he? Is new school as opposed to old school, where I think he's being brought up in an era where they're used to getting the banter from the crowd way more than it used to be back in the day. And I think they just respond in that way, don't you, Dan?
I think the thing that didn't help it was the Stoke goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I know Rushworth did it last week at Sheffield United, but there does need to be something in there. And I've previously said before that if a keeper goes down, then somebody on the pitch needs to go off for the time in which, and I think that would sort it, because if they want to do it then, that's fine. Go and get your tactics, go and get your drinks, but you're going to lose someone for 30 seconds or whatever.
Or you don't allow anybody to leave the pitch, because they shouldn't be anyway.
Yeah, or you have drinks, stations like a bit further down on the pitch, on the byline, and then they go to there rather than getting tactical instructions.
Yeah. That's 2 seasons running. It hasn't helped. Remember last season, last minute winners? Great to see it this season, particularly our 2 wins over Stoke. Jack Saunders, he says, deserved the win based on the first half. Second half was back to how we've been recently, but we got the job done. It became very difficult that second half and very nervy. Great result, says Mark Friel. It makes a good sign of it makes a good sign of a title-winning side. Mark Rainbow, it was annoying in the first half. We had 4 or 5 great chances to get the second well before we conceded. Yes, David Blackwell must put these chances away. Stops the stress. Yes, it certainly does. Even if we draw the last 11 games, that would see us promoted. This is what I'm saying. It's almost like that. It's bizarre. This is so obvious. It's daft. But every team we play from now on is below us. I know the league is crazy, so we respect everyone, but we have no one to fear, says Alan Charles. Yes, as we keep saying, we haven't played anybody yet. That's what we keep getting told.
It could come to a situation with Ipswich needing, I believe it could anyway, with Ipswich having the 2 games in hand, it could come to a situation where we're promoted without playing, couldn't it?
Yeah, this is what we spoke about on CWR last night, saying you just want to be there when it happens, not sat at home. You know, if you're going to get promoted, you want to be there celebrating it, because it's a bit of a damp squib, isn't it? And I know it shouldn't be, but it's not the same as it running out the front door going, yay. Yeah, it's not the same, is it?
No.
Alex, at home, if we play teams that part of the bus, do we need Torp to start as well as Eccles, as they seem to be the best in the squad for scoring goals outside the area? Now, Onyeka, obviously, I think it's in the leg area. He felt something. This is why I'm hoping we're not playing at the weekend. That gives him a chance to recover. I don't think he was he put his foot in a few times. He wasn't as effective, I thought, in the other games. But I was slightly disappointed when Torp came on, because the problem we've got now, Dan, is these guys, that's the 4th game in a row when he only made 1 change now, where they're not getting loads of minutes, and they're coming into a game like that today, which was difficult, and it took Torp. Well, I think the game was finishing by the time he got up to speed.
Well, there was a couple of grumbles about that, about Torp, and again, it's just about like the Redoni thing. It's about the ability that we know this gentleman carries, and he's got such a great ability, Torp, that if he's slightly off it, we see it. But what I'll say on that is Sakamoto and Eze.
Yeah.
Okay. Eze started those few games when he first came into the club, looked really good. And Sakamoto got his chance. He come back and he took that chance. And I'm going to say the same for Lampard, who I've criticised a lot, in the past. He's come in and he's took the shirt. So for me, Torp's got to do the same. If he wants his shirt back, he's got to fight for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, dead right, Mark. Daniel, it says, Mark Robbins is out of ideas without AD. I genuinely believe AD was the tactician and Robbins was the manager, and results show evidence of this. They've certainly, since we beat them, they've completely lost their way, regardless of injuries. They've completely gone to pot, and they just recently sacked his assistant. Yeah. Steve, CCFC, how many teams have sung top of the league, you're having a laugh, and we've come back and beat them? So, yeah, we're top of the league. We're not just top of the league, we're top of the league by a big margin. I mean, it seems like the most ridiculous song ever to sing to a team who's top of the league. Yeah, you're top of the league, yeah, having a laugh. Well, no, we're not. We are top of the league. Yeah.
Just imagine if we didn't have that. Just imagine if we'd have carried on just at a normal rate, cardio. You know what I mean? We'd be miles clear by now. We'd be winning the league.
Two games, QPR away and Norwich away. We should have won those. We should have took 6 points. Yeah. I think every Cov fan will agree on that. You know, we didn't manage the game properly, and we're managing them a lot better now, and we're getting results. That's now 5 unbeaten, I think, if you include, obviously, the Oxford draw. A draw and 4 wins, and apparently we're not classed as a form team. That's the second tier podcast, by the way. Birmingham lost once. I'll keep having to dig at them, but Birmingham lost once at home in 2 years, says Sky 09 Sky Blues. Mikey Doty says, we've got the best manager now after Mark Roberts left, because he wasn't doing anything for us, and now Frank has come in and look at what we are, which way we're moving in the Premier League. And we've got to accept the fact is the amount of points we have won since Frank Lampard's come in.
Yeah.
We've won enough in that kind of year. We won enough points to win the league anyway.
The points per game's over 2 points per game since Frank's come in,
It's
which is
fantastic.
automatic promotion.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Mark Rainbow, for a team with an average height of 7'13", they're all that in the air. Mason Clark, Jay forced them to change their back line around. They moved the 40 from right back to centre back after 15 minutes. Yeah, it was virtually the same back line who played in the cup game. I remember saying to Luca, look at the size of their defenders, just absolutely huge, which is unusual because I don't remember Mark Robbins when he was just particularly particular about having massive players at the back.
I think you might see a number of changes if he's still there. Because if he carries on the way he's going on, they might give him the boot. But if they can stick with Mark Robbins, they won't go far wrong. They're not going to find and people say about the number 2. I don't know, but I think there'll be a lot of changes at Stoke in the summer. I think they need to back him.
Martin King says 11 games played so far this weekend, not a single draw. All the teams chasing us won. It's what we said at the head of the show. So important to win today to maintain the gap. You could have written my script, Martin. That's exactly what we said at the start. Yes, you're dead right. It was a huge, huge win in the end. Just remember Man United when they used to win the Premier League back in the day, Fergie time and all that.
Champions win.
Yeah, and you've just got to accept that the game goes on forever nowadays, doesn't it? You just got to keep going. Scott Brown saw good result, first half performance is what we need to do constantly. Lee Lishman says a prime Dennis Mortar would be a Rolls Royce in this team. Hopefully we come back fresh and up for it, hoping Onyeka hasn't gone and anything serious damage to his shoulder. Yeah, we sold Dennis Mortimer at the wrong time.
Just as he was like late 70s, early 80s.
No, we sold him 75, 76 season, but the season 50 years ago when he's actually on I've got a scarf there, an Admiral scarf with all the pictures of the players on it with the new kit on. I've got it in my drawer. And he's on that. And then we sold him to Villa. And it's got to be said, I don't think anybody expects him to be as good as he was, because he's one of the best English players who's never got a cap, full England cap, which is a mystery. And he was just a good midfielder. He just ran and ran and ran, but was creative, could tackle. And of course, Villa got the best out of him in the end. And he, captained the team that won the league and won the European Cup. So, he probably made the right move, even though he didn't want to leave at the time. Back on track, I would have been gutted if we'd end up in a draw. At least now we can switch up. We've had to do that in several games, I think, this season. Ryan Matthew J says a lot of Stoke fans have already given up on Robbins. It was the best thing ever 6 months ago. Michael Carl Shaw says, I think another 6 more wins and we'll have this league and back into the Premier League. Oh dear, 6 wins.
I think it could be 5. It's
all right.
Just 5 automatics, Claudio, I think.
Stop it now.
6 would be champions.
Stop it.
It will.
Stop it now. Sky Blue Army just got back from the game, had a beer thrown us in block 9, well worth it, at £6 a pint as well. Yes. Second tier, put them in a pack of cards and they'll be the jokers in the pack, says Mick Kelly. Yeah, they do me head in. Embarrassing. I used to really enjoy that podcast until we got Frank Lampard. They're just ridiculous. Ryan Matthew J, if you're doing a podcast about the whole championship, you have to be neutral about things. You can't let personal things, govern how you think. Basically, Ryan Matthew J, I said at the time, Stoke was a bad move for him. Stoke just don't give managers time to build like Robbins needs. They go through so many managers because of it. BCSB says it would be a travesty if Cov didn't win it now. We've been top virtually all season, so obviously deserve it. Lampard has worked wonders. We turned him down for boring sidewards Chris Davis. The interesting thing is, somebody said to me, what about if it goes all the way to Watford? And I said, if it goes to Watford, we've cocked up big time. We've only got 11 games left.
It's not going to Watford.
It really isn't. Mark Rainbow, comparing us to Stoke since we played them in Stoke, we have more than double the points they have. They've fallen off fast. Since then, they certainly have. Realms of possibility. David Smith was one of my fave players. Hardly gets mentioned. Realms of possibility. I think you may have seen it. I did the Sky Blue History podcast with Jim Brown, and we interviewed David Smith. We've got him on one of the episodes, And the question I put to him was, at the time, do you think you were overplayed? Because I think he was back in the day. And I can remember, I don't know if you remember, Dan, if you're young enough, he used to get booed and all sorts. It was shocking. I can remember players back in the day, we'd make a substitution, we'd boo, well, I wouldn't. Some fans would boo the bloke coming on who's a substitute, or boo him at the kickoff. You know, when they do at number 6, it's so-and-so, and they go boo. You're thinking, what? He hasn't even kicked a ball.
No, that's not great, is it? That's not great.
It's poor with another P word in front of it, actually. Dark Fart says, imagine the gap if you didn't have that blip.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it before. With Frank Lampard, we've had a series of wins, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. In between, we sort of plateaued. And I think that's because of injuries and suspensions. When we've got the whole squad, look at the players who aren't even in the 18 at the minute.
Well, Claudio, we said last night, you've already said we were up late last night having a chat like we normally are. But if we have that blip again, it's promotion.
Yes.
If we come and have a blip now, 6 wins in the next 12, whatever it is now, that's it. It's gone. It's done. We've won the league. Yeah. People need to get in the heads. We are going to win the league.
Stop it now. Stop it now. You get me too excited. Dennis Morton was a good shout, says Mark Rainbow. Steve Hunt would be fun in this side too, but wasn't on the 51 today. Steve Hunt. I used to love Steve Hunt. Got to say that. I used to love him. Cyril Martin King says Cyril Regis still an all-time favourite, of course. Big Cyril. Christianity says Dennis Mortimer, Gary McAllister, Dennis Wise. God, so.
Gary McAllister for me. Wow.
Great player. I mean,
great player.
Yeah, made it look too easy.
Probably the nearest thing to like a non-Yanker we've had. He was just, he caught the ball in midfield and he could just move and he could just do a little, you know, he was fantastic passer of the ball as well. Different range of passing, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he was just comfortable on the ball, made it look too easy. Yeah, and it's no wonder we got relegated when he left and Robbie Keane left. That's a lot. He scored a lot of goals. He got about 15 goals in one season from centre mid.
He used to be penalty taker as well, didn't he?
I think he only missed one.
When Dion weren't there, he was the main man, wasn't
he? Yeah. Ryan Matthew J, since Lampard took over, think of the points he's earned us. Mrs. Christmas says, Smith did get a lot of stick. I remember that. He certainly did. Robert Mason, is the Rodoni back from last season?
Yeah.
You know what? Credit to Frank Lampard here, Dan, because he said he stuck with him.
Stuck with him, didn't he?
Yeah. And you can see a massive improvement in the last 3 games. Our bench is strong, says the Kissam. Strong as Ipswich, and they spent a fortune. Yes, 200 million they've spent on that squad.
Well, we've only really got 2 players in that have actually made an impact at the minute. In Eze coming in and off, and then you've got Onyenka. But the other signings haven't really come in and done much. So it was just about getting those suspensions done and those niggles that we had, the injuries. And we weren't miles away. We didn't need an overhaul. It was just we needed a couple of first team players. We didn't need some strange signings that we made.
Well, I think they came in. I talked to my son about this. I think we just made them because we didn't know how long they'd be out.
Yeah.
And they came back a lot quicker. And they had to do something. We had no players. They had to sign a couple of players quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think the Korean lad, the Mini, is going to see much minutes, to be honest.
I don't think he'll start. I don't think he'll start a game for us.
No, I can't see it at all because there's far too many strong players there.
Yeah.
Steve Curry. I'm not discussing too much about the game because obviously we've got a show tomorrow night. We'll be really go in depth. So we're just having a bit of a chit chat and get your comments in. It'd be great. Like and subscribe if you want as well. And well, tell your friends, of course. Steve Curry, great result again. Rudy was back to his best today. Really up for it from the start. Stoke were poor, made life very difficult. SBA says, Derby at home potentially changed for television coverage or policing. We'll all remember the last time Derby came to the CBS. Yeah, who knows?
Very fast.
The Cross Boss says, PUSB, stay hard, hell divers. Give us a like and subscribe. Sam Stephen says, PUSB, don't you know, pump it up. The city's going up. Celebrate it with a massive pizza. Lovely pizza. What's your favourite pizza? If anybody says pineapple on the pizza, there's trouble. Dan's just stuck on me again. Simon Hargreaves, nice to see Misford come all the way from Malta. Mr. Dino, just looked at the fixtures I have. Coventry 85 points going to the Wrexham game with both teams needing a draw. Us to win the title, Wrexham to make the playoffs. We draw at Watford for 87 points. Rudy hitting form and perfect time. Rudy for the World Cup squad. These are some great comments here. I'm going to read this one out. Latty was good at the bat today. A bit of an unsung hero after coming in for Kitch. I used to love watching Steve Hunt too as a young lad. Right, briefly then, because we're it's meant to be a short show, this, but I'm enjoying life so much. And let's talk about the city. Right, it had gone flat in the second half. We can't be in denial. We're not stupid. We all saw the game. It didn't look like we were going to score. In comes now. Ellis Sims comes on, and it's almost like one of those cars where you have to get the inertia by dragging them back and getting, you know what I mean, then letting go, because he looked like a man possessed when he came on, didn't he?
That's what you want, though, isn't it? You want people fighting for that shirt, and the only way Sims is going to get back in, because Hadji's turned the corner and he is scoring goals now. And I said at the start of the season he'll bag 20, he'll be top goal scorer, he'll be golden boot. And everyone was laughing at me a few months ago. They're not laughing now. Ashley Monk in the comments. But yeah, you know, there's sometimes you've got to admit when you're wrong. And with Sims and Wright, I think, you know, every team in this league would probably snap your hand off for either one of them. They've just got to come on now. We've got, what, is it 11 or 12 left?
11.
So we're half the amount of games away from promotion. Every single player is going to have a bonus in their contract. They're going to come on and they're going to work. They've got to.
Yeah.
They've got to.
And I thought BTA came on, did a good job. Well, these are, yeah, they are quality players at the end of the day. They're no mugs, are they?
The funny thing is, Claudia, me and my son were watching the players come in the entrances and whatnot. And my lad went, let's see who's got the nicest car. I said to him, I said to Harvey, I says, well, I bet you next year they'll have a lot better nice cars next year than they will this year. They'll be in Lambos next year, Claudio.
I just, it'd just be incredible, because
it will, won't it?
It will be, because it felt like, and I mean, it hasn't happened yet, because obviously, you know, we need to do it mathematically, but it felt like for me that is never going to happen. This is so close now. It is so close. Frank Wood says, I just said Dennis Mortimer before you said it, Claudia. Hooks looks as if he could still play. Hooks is so fit, and he's coming on the show at the end of March, actually. So get your questions in that night. He's really happy to come on and talk about his career and answer stuff. And he's a top bloke. I think we'll get promoted at Blackburn, and then huge party at Wrexham home. Mortimer superb. Can still remember how sad it was to see him leave, says Keith. Nigel Krask says, well done, Cov, on another 3 points toward this title. Keep winning. Chris Knott. Evening, guys. Just managed to switch on. Good game. However, Frank the Tank going off. He looked and signaled to the bench, rubbing his leg. I think he did. And you know what? Now he's got a bench like we've got. He doesn't have to stay on, does he? So if he needs to go off, just get off. Basically.
CWR said it was his shoulder/arm that they were looking at. But
no, he held his leg. He held his leg down by us. He did the challenge, and he sort of went, oh.
Oh, well, I've seen that, but then when they said that he was holding his shoulder and his arm in the first challenge when the physios come on initially, but yeah, I thought it was more like a groin, like a stretch or something, you know. But I don't know. Hopefully, it's not too serious.
And he's played a lot of minutes when he's hardly played any minutes before, the 4 months before. So you know, Robert Mason, incredible. I was in the lids and someone shouted yes, and I looked at my phone and Redonia scored. I also won 845 quid on a £3 acca. I cashed out before my Monday's bet from Brumbeaton Borough for 2.5k. Oh, Roberts, you could have let it go on. You could have waited till the game started, surely.
If Thorpe had got booked today, I'd have had 850 quid.
Really?
Just needed Torp to be booked.
I
Yeah.
never bet on anything really. In fact, I don't bet at all. Lee Listman and Prime Dennis Morton would be a Rolls. Oh, I think I've read that one. Michael Carshaw says, I think another 6 more wins and we'll have this league back into the Premier League. I'm going to go right down to the bottom of the comments because there's so many. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be on again tomorrow night with Ken and the rest of the crowd. Paul Stratton says, Stoke already claiming how unlucky they were and how well they played. Amazing seeing other teams' perspective on games. What planet are they on? Well, they probably thought they defended well, and well, they did. They got away with it the first 30 minutes, but after that, I think but in terms of what they had to do, they did do well. They kept us at bay. They kept us quiet. I mean, the goal itself, though, it was just down to Sims' sheer tenacity chasing the ball. I'm not sure Haji Wright would have chased that down. Do you?
Yeah, maybe.
I think Ellis had that about him when he came on, and it took an eternity to cross the line.
When Tats come on, and they was surrounded by about 3 or 4 of them, and I'm thinking, there's this little kid in the middle of it in a scrum, like a rugby scrum, and he was just holding them all off. And for me, it's just amazing. He wins every ball in the hair, and he's 4 foot nothing. It's incredible, the desire and the work rate that he has to pull his shirt back. And that's what I was saying. If SA has clearly got the qualities of being a top class player, but if he's got to match that work rate of Sakamoto, because he's grabbing that shirt with both hands, isn't he?
Yeah. It's right. We're going to wrap it up then, Dan. I've got to say we'll be back tomorrow night. One last comment here. This is from Mrs. Christmas. I was hoping to see us in the top flight whilst I'm still alive. It's from Anthony Pettifer. I've met Anthony at the Diamond Club, which I think, I'm going to the next one. I can Mrs. Christmas when using wife's account. And Martin King says, getting Tats was a scouting dream. Got him for next to nothing. Well, Dan, thanks for coming on. I'm glad you stayed to the end this time and saw the winning goal.
Thanks for inviting me again, mate. No worries, anytime.
And it's great to have the positivity and what has been a tremendous result in the end. I mean, it a bit untidy in the end, but I think after that first 30 minutes, it was truly well deserved. For me, man of the match was Rodoni. I think he got it in the lounges. Your man of the match, Dan?
Whose was it? Rodoni?
Rodoni got it in the lounges, I think.
I think De Silva played very well.
Okay.
And that cross, it was right in front of me. I think, wow, the flight of it and everything, it was bang in front of me. De Silva for me, because I think he's the most improved player this year. He got a lot of stick from me in the past. He's improved. I'll hold my hands up when I'm wrong, Claudio. De Silva for me, man of the match today.
Good shout. Yes, he's massively. I know Jim Brown loves him. He says he's every game he'll ring me up and say, "My word, Silva played well again."
Yeah.
So
it's just confidence, isn't it? It's confidence, and he's taking these little touches and these little turns that he never did when he was, not confident. It's a massive thing, confidence, isn't it?
Yeah. If only he had an extra 6 inches, he'd be happy. But there you go.
Going up. That's it.
Won't we all? So right, we'll be back tomorrow night. I might have a Chinese actually to celebrate.
Hey, Claudio, you've disturbed me eating my Chinese. I've already got one.
I might add some spice rum. Although last week I had some spice rum and Coke. I had too much. And my wife said in the morning, "Why have you gone to bed fully clothed?"
Probably because you're on the phone to me.
Anyway, play up Sky Blues. We'll be back tomorrow night. We're going up. We're definitely going up now, surely. 8 points clear of Middlesbrough. They've got to try and win a game. I don't care anymore. As long as we do what we're doing it right. I fancy us. What a team. Right, we'll be back tomorrow night. Play up Sky Blues.
We are top of the league. We are top of the league. We are top of the league.